foremost, I'd like to congratulate Minnesota State on an excellent season. I thought they were a great opponent tonight. They gave us everything we could handle, and the fans definitely didn't get cheated tonight. They were treated to an exceptional hockey game, chances both sides, and I thought both goalies were very, very strong from the onset. So it's a game we're thrilled to be moving on from, and we're looking forward to tomorrow's matchup.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for our student athletes? Let's start with Rich up here up front.
Joe, Rich Thompson, the Herald. Just talk about the play at the blue line and getting the breakaway.
Yeah, in practice we practice a lot getting a long stick on that D-man for the penalty kill and just attacking him with as much pressure as we can, give him as much time and space that he doesn't have. So I just went out there with a long stick, and he ended up shooting into my body. So and then I just went on a breakaway and kind of just faked the goalie one way and put it in the 5-hole.
Right here, second row, please.
Scott McLaughlin, WEI.com. Connor, last weekend, obviously you had a great weekend, but team got up by a few goals, maybe not quite as much pressure from there on. How does tonight compare to that when it's a one-goal game pretty much the entire way?
Yeah, I would say it's similar in a lot of ways. We're up backs against the wall this time, and we know we don't have another game if we lose. So I think the guys in front of me are playing great tonight, and they're playing to win, not to lose.
Question right here. Oh, actually, we'll go right there third, then we'll cut to you.
I'm Mike McMahon, College Hockey News. Joe, can you just talk a little bit about the importance of getting that first goal? It seems, I don't know the record, but when you guys have scored first this year, you haven't lost many games at all.
Yeah, it's definitely going into every game. It's definitely key to ours. Not so much to score, but just to kind of get off on the right foot and the attacking mentality. I thought, we didn't really do that this tonight. We weren't really attacking right off the bat, but it was good to get the goal, to kind of the weight off of our shoulders. And all right, now we can start playing our game. So anytime you can get the first goal, it's huge. But sometimes you're not. But it's all how you respond.
Okay, right here, John.
Excuse me, this is for Connor. John Powers, Boston Globe. You guys are up 2 goals with about 14 seconds to go. Suddenly, near the end, it's a wild scramble. What's going through your heads there when they've narrowed it to 1, they have a face-off, and you're rendered enough time to do something?
I think we're calm, and we're collecting. We know what we need to do. We get down to business, and we don't really let the emotions get the best of us, and we just do what we know how to do.
Keep it up here with this mic.
Dave Hendrickson, U.S. College Hockey Online. This is for you, Joseph. You did beat Huggins for that goal, but other than that, you guys had a lot of trouble with him. Can you compare him with the other goalies, the other top goalies you faced this year, or even against facing Connor in practices?
Yeah, he's a very good goalie. This time of the year, there's going to be a lot. Every team's going to have a good goalie, and it's important to get eyes in front of him, in front of the net, and some nights you're only going to get 1 or 2 goals by a goalie, but it's important that you keep going. You don't let that frustrate you. Especially going into tomorrow. BC's got a great goalie in Demko, so it's going to be important that we just keep going and not get frustrated.
All right, question back here.
Guys, Brian O'Connor, ESPN Boston. Speaking of Demko and Boston College, obviously you want to enjoy tonight's win, but how quickly do you switch mindsets to tomorrow night, and how excited are you about having another crack at the Eagles?
I think we switched mindsets immediately, really. We can enjoy it for a little bit, but it's a quick turnaround. I think it's a 5 o'clock game tomorrow, so we're going to get right into it, and I think we like that. We'll be able to get up, we'll just go straight through our routine, and we'll get right into the game. So we got to start switching our focus to that right now and being sure we're ready for the game.
Okay, right here, second. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Connor, can you?
I think he said it perfectly himself. We like quick turnarounds. This team, we have a good routine, and we all like to stick together. And when it's such a quick turnaround, we're all together more often. So it's kind of like a family in there. And when we're all coming together like that, it's good morale.
Thanks. Second row, please.
Andy Merritt from the New England Hockey Journal. Joe, you guys had a lot of chances kind of down the stretch, and the goaltender's making a lot of saves. A couple of shots go off posts. Is there any point where it creeps into your mind that, I know we got a lead, but we got to put one of these in, or these guys are going to catch us?
You try not to let it creep into your mind. You want to stay as positive as possible, even if it's just saying, hey, we're going to get our chances. We keep getting them. It's going to fall at some point. Some games it will fall, some games it won't, but it's important to stay positive during that stretch where you kind of can't bury. So it's really important to stay positive because once you turn to the negative is usually when stuff kind of goes downhill.
Oh, sorry, right back here. We get him a mic back here. Sorry, thanks.
Sean Hutchin, the Lowell Sun. Joe, structurally, was that maybe the most challenging team that you've faced all season? Their defensive structures, especially.
Yeah, they're very aggressive. They were very aggressive in us in D zone, trying to pin us as much as possible. And then whenever they did have the puck, they tried to stretch us out as much as possible. It was very comparable, kind of how UNH plays. They like to stretch the game out and try and get odd man rushes as much as they can. So we were kind of familiar with it, and I thought we combated it pretty well.
Last question for the student athletes. Anything else? Okay, thank you, gentlemen. If you need anything else from Pete is up here. Can help you out if you need another student athlete. See you tomorrow, guys. All right, head coach, questions. We'll start with Brian in the back, then come up.
Hi, Coach. First of all, congratulations. Secondly, same question I had for the guys. BC is a team that you know well, especially seeing them late in the season. How do you see tomorrow night's matchup? What do you think of the keys?
Well, we'll break that down tonight. We haven't had a chance to digest this game. And once we do that, we do know our opponent. They're a great hockey team, and they're regular season champions for a reason. And just so happens we're playoff champions, so it should be a great matchup.
Okay, right here.
Norm, something that Joe was starting to talk about, that they looked a little bit like UNH, but I think a lot of people would say that they looked a lot like you guys, the way they played the defense and took time and space away from you guys. Did you see that at all, and how hard was it to get your attack going against a team that plays that kind of defense?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I think they are very similar. I thought both goalies were exceptional. We failed to nail down the game several times, and they were very good, don't get me wrong, but we had our opportunities to make it 2-0. And that would have eased some tension. So when you leave it hanging in the balance for long enough, you run the risk. But thankfully for us, we're able to get it done in the end. I thought the special teams was ended up even, but with Joe's shorty and them scoring late on the power play. And I got to look at that penalty call, frankly, because I didn't see it from the bench. So I'll get a better understanding there, but it happened, and you deal with it. And unfortunately for us, they were able to capitalize.
Right here, Coach.
Richard Murray, HockeySfuture.com. Coach, you talk a little about Connor Hellebuck. He's done this time and time again in big games for you guys.
Yeah, he's a great goalie. You don't win anything special without a very good goaltending this time of year. And, he's a calming presence back there, and he's done a great job for us.
Right here, second row, please.
Norm, I think when you faced BC a little over a month ago after that series, you said something along the lines of if they're the measuring stick, then you guys were pretty close. It's probably safe to say that your team's better now than was then. What are some of the areas you think you're better in now than you were maybe a month ago?
Yeah, another great question. I have to really give that some more thought. Transition, I think we can be. Tonight wasn't one of those nights where I was particularly impressed with our neutral zone. However, last week I was impressed with it. So it comes and goes, and it's going to have to be there tomorrow if we're going to have any success against a very good offensive team. So, you like to think we're better on transition, and we're going to see if we can, have more puck possession time than we did in that Friday-Saturday game against Boston College at that point.
Right here, third row, please.
Can you just talk a little bit about Joe? I mean, it seems like he's a guy you put in a lot of roles. He can fill a lot of roles for you, and that play sort of epitomized what he can do. He blocks a shot in the penalty kill and turns it into a breakaway where he scores a goal.
Yeah, he's an excellent hockey player. He's someone who will be missed dearly because he fills in so many roles. He's our top two-way center. He's a guy who can fill in on the PK and does a great job on the power play. So, he's an all-purpose type of player. I think he will have an opportunity to play after college because he can fill all those roles. He's developed nicely in his 4 years at Lowell in increasing his not only his ability to defend, but also becoming a stellar defensive player. And I really think that he's, if not the best, in the top 2 or 3. I know he wasn't nominated for, he wasn't picked for Defensive Player of the Year, but he was certainly my pick.
Any more questions for Coach? Oh, back here, please.
Coach, the defense core as a unit seemed to get stronger as the game went along. Is that something that you noticed on the bench also, that especially third period, they were keeping pucks out in the perimeter for the most part and keeping the front of the net clear for Connor to see the puck?
Yeah, I think we did improve a little bit in that area. It's never as good as you want it to be as a coach, but at the same time, the shots were coming from the perimeter. They're good hockey teams. Mankato was an excellent hockey team. They pushed the pace. They were certainly bringing everybody to the table in the end. And when they pinched on the walls like that, and they've got an extra man, it's you're just trying to survive those rushes. So, no, I was pleased. I think there was some key shot blocks. I remember Fallon. I remember McGrath. I remember a couple other guys. Suter, obviously. They came in very timely shot blocks, and I like the way we bent, but we never broke.